This meeting, Your Excellency, is both timely and necessary. It provides us a sacred space for frank reflection and renewed resolve, a moment where the Church and the state may listen deeply, reflectively, and labor faithfully for the common good. Mr. President, the 32 years of our democratic dispensation in the Fourth Republic has been governed 16 years each by the duopoly of NDC and MPP. The Catholic Church contributed to the struggle for freedom from authoritarian military regimes. And we continue to speak and act whenever necessary because of our conviction about the inviolability of the freedoms of the person, but also because of our hope for the integral development of our people. Sadly, however, the success is chalked over the years notwithstanding. Our political and economic evolution is still underwhelming. Your Excellency, we are approaching you at this point in our country's life because we believe after 32 years of our democratic experience and the decisive mandate handed you by the Ghanaian electorate at last year's elections, it is time for real and meaningful change for our people. This means, Mr. President, that failure to deliver will attract very little sympathy from the citizenry. It is in the spirit of the foregoing that we hope that the issues we bring to you for discussion will be appreciated. Your Excellency, the Catholic Church has long stood at the heart of Ghana's moral and intellectual development. Since before independence, our schools served as cradles of civic virtue and academic excellence. Currently, a good number of basic schools, senior high schools, TVETs, and tertiary institutions in the country are Catholic Church established, most in partnership with government. Yet, administrative bottlenecks and the gradual erosion of faith-based managerial roles now threaten the very ethos that built this legacy. We believe it is time to revisit and reinvigorate this partnership, rooted not in nostalgia, but in shared responsibility and mutual respect. We propose, Your Excellency, the establishment of a church-state co-management framework built on mutual accountability, subsidiarity, and service to the common good. For this purpose, we make the following key recommendations. That should include formal partnership agreement between the Ministry of Education, the Ghana Education Service, and the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Education Directorate. Creation of joint oversight committees at national, regional, and diocesan levels. Autonomy in staff recruitment and disciplinary structures for teachers, head teachers, and staff in Catholic institutions, consistent with national standards and guaranteed representation of the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference in education policy reforms, curriculum, and design panel. Mr. President, we are also burdened by the devastation of illegal mining. What began as subsistence activity has grown into a threat of national proportions. Recent data, as you are all aware, indicates that over 4,000 hectares of forest cover have been lost in just the past 2 years, while rivers like Pra, Ofen, and Ankobra have become bywords for environmental collapse. Now, this ecological damage is grave, but the social moral disintegration it breeds is just as perilous. We believe we must act now and immediately, not only with force, but with foresight. Enforcement, we believe, must be balanced by credible and sustainable alternatives for those driven by desperation. But the paltry economic gains from Galamsey pales in comparison to the devastating and irreparable damage that Galamsey does to our environment, our economy, and to the esteem of Ghanaians as a people. Your Excellency, we propose the following, and we are ready to back you up in all ways to arrest this menace. First, repeal of permissive legal instruments. Audit and repeal legislative instruments enabling unchecked licensing under the Minerals and Mining Act 2006, Act 703, and associated legislative instruments. 2, moratorium on licenses. Immediate freeze on new artisanal and small-scale mining licenses until a full review of environmental and social impact is completed. We believe there should be targeted state of emergency. Declare, Your Excellency, a limited state of emergency in all the affected zones to suspend all mining activities temporarily. Deploy military engineering units for reclamation. Restore lawful local governance and other. Then decentralized oversight. Establish district-level mining task forces with civil society and church observers to monitor local operations, report breaches, and ensure community participation. Conduct independent, publicly available audits of environmental impact, social benefit metrics, legal compliance of all current mining concessions. Enforce mandatory reclamation bonds and establish an independent environmental restoration fund, co-governed by state, church, and traditional authorities. fund vocational training, agroforestry, aquaculture, ecotourism in affected regions using part of the Minerals Development Fund. We suggest further that you implement a national blockchain-based system for tracking gold and minerals from source to export, to curb smuggling, ensure legal compliance, and recover lost revenues. Your Excellency, we, the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference, are ready, ever ready, to be with you. And we believe if you're able to salvage Ghana from Galamsey, it probably might be the biggest legacy any government president might have done for Ghana. Your Excellency, we, the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference, are just returning from a meeting in Dakar, where all the bishops of West Africa in the ECOWAS region, including Mali, Guinea, Senegal, and Burkina Faso, were present. We had very passionate discussions on the ongoings in our sub-region, views from the ground from all the bishops. And that is why we are compelled to speak to the growing sense of disillusionment among the people in the sub-region and even in our country. Your Excellency, trust in democratic institutions is waning. Electoral participation, while still robust by global standards, has declined from 85% in 2016 to 60.9% in 2024. This downturn in electoral participation tells a lot and underscores a growing sense of this engagement among the electorate, particularly and dangerously among the youth. The reduced turnout reflects broader concerns about the efficacy of democratic processes in addressing pressing national issues. More worryingly, many young Ghanaians now express disaffection with politics as a vehicle for real change. The perception that politics is transactional and exclusive must be confronted. We must make democracy work, not just periodically at polls, but persistently through policy, equity, and inclusion. Mr. President, we have national unity challenges. Political polarization has intensified, deepening mistrust between ethnic, regional, and partisan lines. Land disputes, chieftaincy conflicts, and vigilantism persists in flashpoint areas. Electoral violence persists in our democracy. Even though Ghana has successfully conducted 9 elections between 1992 and 2024 and peacefully transferred power from one government to the other on 4 occasions in the Fourth Republic, yet electoral violence has been an enduring feature across all general elections and most by-elections in the country. According to CDD, a total of 76 separate incidents were recorded in relation to the 2024 elections. Destruction, seizure, vandalism, invasion of public facilities. These 24 cases, deaths, 6 cases, and injuries, 46 cases. There are also allegations of partisan dismissals and political vindictiveness against successive regimes all over, all of these regimes for these 32 years. So, Your Excellency, as I end, we make these following recommendations. That Your Excellency, using the massive support that Ghanaians have given you the mandate, and even your control of Parliament, to use the occasion, the opportunity, and the chance to rationalize Article 71, payments, and link public service remuneration to national equity. Prioritize labor-absorbing infrastructure projects. Expand and depoliticize LEAP and the NHIS. Pass campaign finance regulations with independent audits. Reform electoral security deployment protocols. And reconstitute Electoral Commission appointment frameworks to ensure independence. Create an independent commission for democratic integrity with prosecutorial powers, and institutionalize civil service charter to protect public servants. Establish a biennial inter-party forum led by faith-based and traditional authorities. In conclusion, Your Excellency, as we reflect on these developments, it becomes imperative for both church and state to collaborate more closely in fostering civic education and engagement by reinforcing the values of participatory governance and accountability. We can work towards revitalizing public trust and ensuring that democracy serves the prosperity of all Ghanaians. As shepherds of souls, we do not seek to govern, but we are called to guide, to remind, and to raise our voice when the nation's conscience trembles. Mr. President, let us build a politics that serves not itself, but the people. A politics that is not about the survival of the fittest, but about the flourishing of the weakest. A politics where governance is not only performance, but a moral vocation. May God grant us the wisdom to discern the right, the courage to pursue it, and the humility to do so together. Mr. President, thank you for this audience, and we pray that you will give us occasionally for us to have such interaction. Thank you. May God bless our homeland, Ghana.